This video is brought to you by TS4U IT Engineering Bootcamp. Are you looking for an IT bootcamp? In your journey with TS4U, you will get workshops and tasks every week, hands-on practice, technical tests and tasks, show and tell, mock interview. And we get paid fully only when you get a job. You can get affordable student loan. Become eligible for free tuition. We offer industry-demanding IT boot camps. Join now and start your IT engineering journey today with TS4U.
The next one. How do you manage auto-scaling in your environment with load balancers? Do you use any managed services?
Yeah, so basically we used the managed auto scaling groups. Basically, we had our AMIs set up, the custom AMIs with our application built in. So for the both front end and back end, we had the scripts written in, the startup scripts inside the AMIs. So we pretty much had all of the application baked into our AMIs. So with those AMIs, we launched AWS's auto scaling groups. Okay, so after running auto scaling groups, we actually decided to move to Elastic Beanstalk. So that was our managed service to launch the auto scaling group and the load balancer at the same time. And sometimes if we needed the database as well, the databases also were able to run with the like Elastic Beanstalk. So some of our deployments were on auto scaling groups directly, and some were with the Elastic Beanstalk. So both of them actually launched the ALB. Okay, so we could have like route all the traffics to our auto scaling groups directly with the ALB. So ALB was a must have for us, and in order to route traffics for both ELB and the auto scaling, not the Elastic Beanstalk, and both the auto scaling groups. So we had separate load balancers for like both of them, obviously. So for one specific Elastic Beanstalk setup, we had one load balancer, the ALB, and for auto scaling groups, we had several like multiple auto scaling groups. So for all of those, we had one load balancer.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So I think this is how we ends up the